Joining us for more on the use of social media in political campaigns is Candice McElia of 360 PR and Kramer Verde, who has done some marketing work for iCreate as well as Unidos Now. Thanks for being with us. So this, I think, more than any other campaign, have we seen the effect of social media?
Absolutely.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it's been really, it's been crazy. This campaign cycle has been extremely interesting to watch and to be a part of.
Very remarkable that work has been done. We can see from the Bernie Sanders campaign, a campaign that was basically created with social media. A lot of their volunteers, followers are mainly recruited that way.
And how has social media changed just in the last few years? We know it's been around for a few election cycles now, but just recently.
I think more and more people are getting involved, and it depends. Now there's so many different social media platforms too, so it really depends on based on your age demographic, which one you gravitate towards. I mean, there's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, Vine, you name it. There's so many different platforms, and I think what's really changing now, video is becoming a lot more prevalent, where everybody, even Facebook Live, you could be going live on Facebook, doing whatever you're doing. You could be recording your own videos. That's, I think, the biggest, most recent trend that we've seen.
And you mentioned the different platforms. Which one do you think is the most effective? Of course, you mentioned some of the newer ones like Snapchat, but Facebook has been around much longer.
Right. For me, I don't know what your feeling is, but I think Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are the most effective ones for campaigns, at least. YouTube, you can be loading, doing your own videos, answering questions that people are Googling about you. And Facebook, I think, for that 35 to 55 demographic is very popular. Twitter, I think is a different demographic, but that would be my take.
My preference always with Facebook and Twitter. We believe that it's a little bit more interactive. More people is used to the format. There are some new applications that are coming on. Meerkat is a new one. It's trying to catch on, but let's see how that works by the time the actual campaigns are working. But let's not forget about emails. I mean, social media is pretty good, but emails will be always the king.
And why is that?
Hillary and Donald email me daily, right?
All of us, right?
Yeah. So close.
Exactly.
So it goes right to your inbox. You see it whether you want to or not. Looking back, what would you say are some of the bigger social media fails that you've seen?
Well, I mean, Donald, love him or hate him, I think when it comes to candidates being on Twitter and it's so immediate, social media is so immediate, I think you have to, it's working for him, obviously, but sometimes I think you really have to just encourage your candidate, or if you are the one tweeting for your candidate, just take a breath for a minute and make sure that what you're saying is accurate. I think that's a big thing.
True, I have to agree with that. And also, I think the use of media and the access from people to all these apps and having internet so accessible from your phone, it actually puts a lot of effort from the candidate, because you have to say and come up with statements that are truthful. Because if you come up with something that's a little bit weird, people have the option to actually verify what you're saying. If you're a bit resourceful and you see something a little bit crazy, you can go and verify from news sources, databases. It's very interesting. I think with campaigns based on the use of internet and social media, we're going to have a more educated, knowledgeable electorate.
With all the fact-checking,
Yes,
that's right. And going back to Donald, I wanted to know, why is it that Donald Trump seems to be able to say anything on Twitter, things that other candidates, it would have tanked their campaigns? Why do you think that is?
Well, I think that Donald's success is based in the fact that people believe that he just says it like it is, and that's why people like him, because he's a straight shooter. People are sick of politicians with politicians speak, and so I think that works for him because that's his base and that's his strength, is people want to know that what they're hearing is the truth and what the candidate really thinks. Now, when it comes to some of the other candidates, you don't really know if they're the one that's doing their own tweeting, if they're doing their own Facebook. And it's a little bit scary, I think, to be a candidate nowadays, because one blunder, one misstep, and it's gone viral. You've had 1 million views on there, so in 15 minutes. So I think it's a little bit scary to be a candidate, but the more honest and open and I think straightforward you can be, the better off people will relate to that.
Well, on regards to Mr. Trump, you can say whatever you want. Depending on who are your electorate, the people that you're working with, they will accept it or reject it. He has a lot of acceptance from the people that follows his party, a lot of rejection, financially, socially, and those are the things that you have to think and evaluate before you make a statement. And whatever you say online, it never goes away. You want to take it back, but it's out there, and that's it. There's no taking back the online.
And speaking of that, what do you do to train or warn your clients about the dangers of social media going too far, perhaps?
Well, we represent a lot of different clients, and some of them like to do their own. Some of them like us to do it, which really entails knowing their voice and understanding what they want to say. And some others, it's kind of a mix. Some you're going on and just making sure that they're spelling words correctly and not, no grammatical mistakes, and you're fixing the things that they're messing up on. So I think when it comes to coaching, you want your voice, your true voice and your true personality to come across effectively, and you want to be respectful too. I mean, my general rule in social media, whether it's for a candidate or a business owner, is be positive and spread something that's going to add to the conversation in a positive way. Let's create, good conversations rather than negativity and ugliness, because there's enough of that. Like, let's promote these conversations in a good way. So that's how I normally will coach my candidates.
Yeah, I think that's the best way, to communicate. But what we have to go back is who is listening and who is watching these views. Anything that you post on Facebook or Twitter, a lot of times gets more reaction for something that's a little more glamorous or something unpredictable. And that's one of the reasons why Donald Trump gets so much attention, because we don't know what he's going to say next.
Shock value, right?
Yes, that's what it is.
And do you encourage people who are running for office to share some personal things on social media as well, or just stick to the campaign message?
I think the more personal you can be when you let people into your personality a little bit, let them know who you are, I think people really like that and enjoy it, and it creates more of a relationship there where people feel like they know you a little bit better. So yeah, I absolutely encourage that.
You have to ask permission for who you want to be personal with. I think when you get to family, of course, direct family like wife, kids are going to be always involved. But it's up to the candidate, and they need to understand what the risk is on, involving all that personal life, putting it out there on the internet.
All that stuff's going to be out there regardless, so you might as well control the message on your...
Get out there first.
Yeah, exactly.
And before we wrap, what else besides social media do you think are the most effective ways? Is it still TV ads? Is it signs? Is it mail outs? What else is still working?
I think door-to-door knocking is still very effective, especially in your local races. People want to know that you're out there. They want to know that you're out with people, going to events, speaking engagements. I think direct mail is, hit or miss. How many times do you get a pile of stuff in your mailbox and you just trash it? Nobody reads it. I think those in-person interactions are highly effective.
Like she said, the small races the personal contact is the best way to go. But going back to the social media, you're basically fundraising to spend it on TV. And that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. So TV is still at play.
TV is still in play.
And it's expensive, so you do have to fundraise to be able to afford that.
You just use social media as a new source of fundraising. That's what it is.
Very good point. All right. Well, thank you all for being with us. Very fun, and it's something that's really topical right now.